I just ate your M&Ms. Let's do this. Hi YouTube, welcome back to my channel, or if this is the first video that you're seeing, then welcome to my channel. And as you can tell from the title of this video, I'm finally discussing something that I feel like a lot of people are probably curious about, which is why I'm 24 years old and still living at my parents' house. I feel like it's kind of a controversial thing to do because I know, like, even if you don't move out at the right age of 18, I know most people by the time they reach my age, they genuinely live on their own, have their own place and everything, but here I am, still living off my parents. I think a lot of people might assume that I'm just broke or I'm lazy, maybe I can't afford to live on my own. It's none of that. I do have some pretty valid reasons for staying at home, as long as I haven't. So I want to talk about that, and I want people to understand my position, why I made the choices that I made, and yeah. So to start it off, I feel like I've been very open and honest about, my high school experience when I was younger and everything. But for those who don't know, which if you've been watching my videos for a while, you should know. But in case you don't, I had a very rough experience in high school. I was bullied a lot. I was made fun of. I have Asperger's syndrome. And that really prevented me from reaching a bunch of the milestones that a lot of people do reach in high school. And I feel like by the time you're in high school, that's really the point where you gain a lot of independence. And that independence usually comes from, like, your social situation, having friends to hang out with, hang out with friends outside of school and stuff. I did not have that experience, and so when I graduated high school, I was still kind of delayed in that aspect. I still didn't really know how to talk to people. And this might not necessarily be the case for all people, but for me, I genuinely feel like it was, like, by the time I moved out on my own, I wanted to, like, have friends, have my own life, know how to socialize and everything. All of that was really important to me. I really wanted to have all those things going for me. But I graduated high school, and lo and behold, I'm still very much lonely. So that's one of the reasons why I'm still at home, or have been to this point, because the social aspect of my life, that really wasn't up to par as I wanted to be. That's really important for me, because when I do move out on my own, I want to have a bunch of social relationships to rely on to prevent me from becoming a hermit and staying at home in my house 24/7. Back to that news article about the person who, I'm sorry, this is a bit much, but the news article about the person who died and then they didn't discover them until 3 days later. Like, imagine just being over there dead somewhere for 3 days and nobody know you dead. Crazy. I wanted to wait to move out until I actually had friends, had a social life. That was personally really important to me. Another big reason why I've chosen to stay at home is the financial situation. I didn't see the point of moving out at 18, spending $900 a month on rent that really wasn't necessary to me. Honestly, I've always had a hard time spending money. Like, if I go to McDonald's and I buy a cheeseburger for 99 cents, I'm literally at the drive-thru handing her the money and we're just doing this, like a tug of war. Like, I'm trying not to give away the money. Like, so imagine me spending $900 a month on rent when I didn't feel like I needed to. I wasn't going to spend that much money just for the sake of saying that I'll live on my own if I didn't feel the need to. I didn't think it was necessary for me to have moved out by a certain point, and I wasn't going to do that just for the sake of making other people happy. Like, I don't believe in spending money when it's not necessary. I got a pretty good situation going on here, guys. Like, I'm not gonna lie. It's a house that we live in. I have a nice yard. I can sit in my front yard and breathe. I have a bunch of space here. The house is pretty nice. It's clean. It's stable. It's a good neighborhood. Now, most people, when they do move out, as soon as they're able to, the place they live in, it doesn't have all that. I wasn't trying to move into some crappy apartments for $500 a month with neighbors are awful, horrible neighborhood. It's just not necessarily the safest environment. It wasn't something that I wanted to do. I always knew that when I moved out of my parents' house, I wanted to move to somewhere that was safe and secure and genuinely nice. For me, sacrificing my comfort just because I was at a certain age, that didn't make any sense to me. I'm okay with living at home. I'm okay with staying at home until I get on my feet or get stable enough to the point where when I do move out, I can afford something nice. I didn't want to settle for a crappy apartment. No offense to anyone who didn't move out at 18, but I've definitely been over to some friends' apartments. You know how they invite you over to their apartment for the first time and they're like, so here it is, and you just alright. I didn't want that experience. I want the first place that I'm staying at to be nice and comfortable and a bit spacious. And so that's another reason why I've chosen to stay at home, because I wasn't about to leave my nice house for a piece of dump just because I was legal. Another reason that I've chosen to stay at home, I enjoy hanging out with my parents. I enjoy seeing them every day. I feel like when I was 18, 19, even 20, 21, or 22, even when I would go stay at cousin's house for like 3 or 4 days, I would always have to call my parents every day, spend like 20 to 30 minutes on the phone with them every single day, because I get anxiety about the idea of not seeing my parents for that long of time. So obviously it makes more sense to stay at home, spend time with them and everything, because like I feel like as you get older, your relationship with your parents change. You know, I know a lot of people, they say, oh, I'm not as close to my parents, I'm not living my own, we kind of only talk once every couple months, like we don't really see a lot of each other. Obviously you can like you make an effort to spend time with them, see them, do all that stuff. So when you do move out on your own, it's not necessarily that you don't see them as often, because if you put in the effort and the time to see them, that won't be an issue. But for me, I didn't feel like risking that at that point in my life. I didn't want to not see my parents. I can barely go like 2 to 3 days without seeing them, and like 12 hours without talking to them on the phone. Like moving out, it just wasn't a realistic option for me, because I wasn't ready to be away from my parents. And there's no shame in that. There's nothing wrong with that. I know a lot of people, obviously, by the time they're like 21, they're definitely, all right, it's time to go, girl. Like, it's time to pack my stuff and go. But me, I genuinely just felt it was better for me to stay at home because of the relationship that I'm lucky enough to have with my parents. My brother starts virtual learning today. They're trying to figure out how to get everything to work. Not important. I just realized I have a piece of hair sticking out. Oh well. So those are 3 pretty big reasons why I've still chosen to stay at home. I'm still living at home. I don't have my place at this point. But overall, I think the main reason why I'm still here is, simply put, it's my choice. I feel like I have a great relationship with my parents. You know, it's not like I'm out here being crazy trying to sneak people in the house and everything. Like, obviously, they do have house rules that I have to follow, and that's just the bottom line. But I feel like it's an easy situation for us because I'm respectful of them. I'm not trying to do all these crazy things. I don't feel like I was trying to live my life at a point where it was impossible for me to figure out who I am while still under their roof. I feel like everything I've done in my life up to this point, I haven't felt it necessary to be out on my own. I feel like I may have been a bit delayed with certain things, like obviously having a social relationship with people is very important part of, you know, growing up and developing, and I haven't had it at this point in my life. So yeah, it wasn't really necessary for me to go and live on my own at 18, because it's not like I'm trying to sneak anybody in the house or anything. I don't have friends. You get what I'm saying? So living on my own at 18, not necessary. 19, not necessary. 20, 21, 22, not necessary. I personally don't think that whether you live at home with your parents or you have your own place is anyone's business. A lot of people have judged me for it, like when I talk to people or I meet people and I tell them I'm still living at home, they're like, ugh. But honestly, I'm okay with it. If my parents are okay with it, we have a great relationship. I respect their house. I respect the fact that it's their house. They respect the fact that I'm 24 years old and I make my own decisions about certain aspects. It's not like we're like butting heads or going back and forth about anything. It's fine with me still living at home. Everyone over here is okay with it. I think it's really important to stop judging people for the life decisions that they make. When you find out someone is in their early 20s and still living with their parents, don't just automatically assume that they're lazy or they're bumming off of their parents, because at the end of the day, you don't know what someone's situation is. Maybe it might be financial reasons. Maybe they just haven't been able to afford living on their own. Maybe they're trying to do what I'm doing and trying to save up for a nice place. Regardless of what the reasons are behind the life choices that someone else makes, that is their choice, and you do not have the right to judge them at all. I have gotten to the point where I finally started to accept the fact that that's just not something that everyone agrees with. Certain people are going to look at me crazy because I still live in my parents' house. But I feel like, you know, if it's cool with me and it's cool with them, mind your business. Like, that's just how I felt about this situation. And for those curious, no, I do not plan on living here forever. I definitely plan on getting my own place. For preferably soon, because I am getting to that point where I'm very much aware of the fact that I live in a house with 4 other people. So definitely going to be looking to get my own place soon here. But even if I wasn't, even if I was 30 years old, still living at home, if I was cool with that and if they were cool with that, you really don't have a place to judge any of us. And that's just my opinion on the subject. You know, I'm not really in a place in my life where I pay attention to criticism or let other people's opinions affect me. Thank goodness I finally got to a point where in my life where I'm just simply like, plain and simple, fuck your opinion. Like, that's just how I feel about certain things now. Honestly, it is what it is. I'm gonna live my life the way that I want to. If you don't agree with my decisions, or you don't feel like those decisions are the same ones that you want to make, that's cool. There's like 7 billion people living on this planet. I highly doubt all of us think the same, and that's okay. You live your life the way you want, I'll live my life the way that I want, and that is why I'm still living at my parents' house. So again, if you see someone on the street, if they're, regardless of what their living situations are, at the end of the day, they got a roof over their head. That's all that matters. And yeah, I feel like I kind of went on a rant there, but I'm just so sick of people judging everyone else when you don't know the full story. Like, I feel like I have pretty good reasons to still be living in my parents' house. I could totally afford to live on my own right now if I wanted to. Would it be the nicest apartment in the world? Absolutely not. But if I feel like it was genuinely necessary for me to live on my own, I would take one for the team and I would get a crap apartment. But I don't want to. I definitely want to live on my own at a certain point in the near-ish future, if that makes sense. But overall, I'm genuinely happy where I am, and I'm happy with the decisions that I've made for my life. So yeah, I just want to make this video really quick to help you guys understand a little bit more about my situation and why I'm still living at home. So yeah, I just wanted to put this video out here so you guys can understand that I'm not a bum, basically, because I've seen a lot of people say that. And I know a lot of people might think that because I am 24 years old and I still live at home. But ultimately, it is what it is. So that is it for this video. Thank you guys for watching. Please let me know what you thought of the video in the comments. Let me know the kind of videos that you guys want to see in the future, because I am going to start posting videos more often soon here. And that posting multiple videos a week will be a lot easier if I actually post the videos that I know you want to see. So please let me know in the comments what you think of this video, what you think of all my videos. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I will see you guys soon here. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you push the notification bell, you'll be notified every time I post a video. Thank you so much for all your love and support. It means the world to me, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.